These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. Well, it's November 1st as you're reading this. It's Halloween as we're recording this. Sam's dressed up as a referee. I'm dressed up as a Target employee because I definitely just wasn't wearing, I definitely just wasn't wearing red today and forgot about a costume. So I'm a Target employee today. Sam's actually a Foot Locker employee. So we're two hard-working fellas.
We
here to
live
talk about
the American
Celtics.
dream of just working, just to work. Just love work.
Exactly. But we are going to be talking about the James Harden trade and how it affects the Boston Celtics, because that is the news that took over the NBA in the early hours of the morning. Woj decided to drop a bomb at 2 a.m. And let us all know that the Sixers traded James Harden to the Clippers for a package of Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, and Kenyon Martin Jr. They also got a 2028 unprotected first, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, and an additional first-round pick from the Thunder. Clippers are sending a 2027 pick swap to the Thunder, clearing the way for the Thunder to move a protected 26 pick to the 76ers. Clippers are sending 24 and 29 second-round picks to the Sixers in the deal, too. Sixers waived Danny Green. The Clippers also got PJ Tucker and center Filip Petrusev, in the trade. But how does this affect the Celtics? I would argue
Sixers win the trade.
You think so?
I don't know who won this trade. This trade's a dumpster fire.
Well, I think how this affects the Celtics in the grand scheme of things is it clears a pathway for the Sixers to trade for another player. Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated tweeted out after the deal was done, Zach LaVine and OG Anunoby are two names that have popped up in connection to the Sixers, which probably would make the Sixers better. As much as you crap on Zach LaVine, even you would have admitted
nobody is a winning player like that guy.
Well, even you have admitted he would probably be better off in a situation where he is the third option, and that's kind of what he would be in Philadelphia. OG
Just like
Anunoby,
a Porzingis, in all seriousness.
Yeah, OG Anunoby would be a nuisance if he joined the Sixers. The outskirts or the remnants of this is Danny Green got released. I saw somebody in the comments said, should the Celtics pick up Danny Green? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I will say, based on what we've seen from the bench, it's not crazy to consider potential changes. The bench hasn't been amazing. I just don't know if Danny Green is that answer. But from your perspective, how does this affect the Celtics? We'll talk about it. I think it probably makes the 76ers a bigger threat in the grand scheme of things because of that potential they could trade for another guy. And also, like, Nick Batum's not a bad player. Kenyon Martin's not a bad player. They have a little bit more depth now, but it feels like they're kind of in the middle ground at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, so Philly gets a couple guys back, right? So they might be able to make that trade, like you said, for Zach LaVine or OG or even DeMar DeRozan. And any of those guys would probably help them be a bit more competitive. I'm not sure how much I like a LaVine trade for them. I think Maxey is a little bit too similar, and I want to see Maxey cook as a neutral. Like you want to see Maxey kind of get an opportunity. Harden didn't play in these first stretch of games for Philly, and Maxey just won Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So him having more freedom is almost like they got a free guy because they don't have him like hidden behind Harden. Because last year he really thrived when Harden wasn't playing.
Exploring this from how could this hurt the Celtics? If I'm the Sixers, I say here's a first round pick and matching salary and maybe a second first. Give me Alex Caruso, pair Maxey with him. Ooh. That would be a frustrating trade for the Celtics because Alex Caruso is a damn good player, probably the most impactful player on that Bulls roster. With this like new trade package the Sixers got, they have the assets to potentially give up stuff to bring in players. Caruso is also, I believe, on an expiring contract, which bodes well for the Sixers, who I know Daryl Morey has expressed the desire to keep cap open. I lied to you. He's not an expiring, but still, it's not a bad contract. Maybe that's a name to keep an eye out for. If you want to really bring ties to the Celtics, maybe if you're the Sixers, you say, okay, let's go get Malcolm Brogdon. Let's go trade for him from the Blazers. We can get him in the mix. Maybe it's let's get Robert Williams to bring off the bench. I don't like that fit as much.
That doesn't make any sense.
You can consider that as well. But Brogdon would probably make the most sense of all former Celtics. But if the Bulls blow it up, I mean, you just have to look at the teams that could potentially blow it up, and that probably is the Bulls and the Raptors, which is why you hear Levine and Anunoby. Probably like Caruso better, probably like Anunoby better, maybe Gary.
Anunoby's the best one,
I
think.
I would like Gary Trent even.
Well, you
maybe
just
even.
said for them to waive Gary Trent yesterday when we were hanging out.
Yeah, well, Gary Trent made a really questionable play, but Gary Trent fits the mold of what the Sixers are looking for to a T. He's an expiring contract. He's a solid two-way guard. He would probably pair well in the backcourt next to Maxey, and it wouldn't be an obscene price. Like if you gave the Raptors matching salary and 2 seconds, even if they blow it up, you could probably get a deal done for Gary Trent, right? And that seems like exactly what they should be looking for. And that would be tough for the Celtics because Gary Trent would probably raise the ceiling of that Sixers team. And that's really the only way this Harden trade affects Boston, because it doesn't feel like the Celtics would get in the mix for any of the guys should they get released. It would be funny if they signed. I don't think so.
Nice little Marcus Morris reunion for nothing. I would take him off the bench.
Nah, I think the Celtics guys off the bench now are better fits. I think Marcus Morris runs the risk of it's Marcus Morris
black
time.
hole.
Yeah, that's what we called him when he was in Boston.
I don't know, man. I don't hate it. I like it, especially today of all days, after we watched the Celtics beat the piss out of the Wizards and the fellas on the bench still, with all the garbage time in the world, not be able to do jack shit.
I would rather Robert Covington. I like that fit better.
That's fine too.
I think he's a better defender. I think he's a better straight up 3-and-D guy, even though he hasn't been great in recent years. But
he's posted better numbers than I think anybody thinks, including me, until I had to look this summer.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't absolutely hate that either. I think the Celtics could use a little bit of an extra boost on the bench. I don't think Hauser's been very good. I think his shot selection at times has been a bit iffy. And Pritchard hasn't been what we thought he might be. It's been 3 games, by the way. So this could change, 12 hours after you listen to this as they play the Pacers tomorrow. Who knows? I'm just not sold on the bench right now. I don't see enough of just solid play. You're getting 15 points per game from the Celtics bench at all, overall. That is unbelievably bad. Or not bad, low.
New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube at YouTube TV.
We'll say low,
how much does it matter?
Not being asked to do a
yeah,
whole
but
lot.
that's what I was gonna say. How much does it matter? It
doesn't matter yet.
Good? Yeah.
The problem I have is the efficiency on the bench is league worst, and the 3-point percentage is second worst. Those are the numbers that
who's
matter.
Worst?
Worst 3-point percentage is Houston, I believe.
Yep, that tracks. So, what about Danny Green? In or out on Danny Green?
See, I don't think Danny Green gives you anything more than any of the guys they already have.
I'd rather
Danny
Green
is washed.
See, I'd rather Danny Green than Marcus Morris because I think he is a better catch and shoot 3-point shooter. And I do think there is some value that Danny Green brings to the table in the fact that he's won 3 titles. And that's not something that either of the other guys. So I think if you're going to go after a bench guy, 1, I don't think any of them are going to play significant minutes. And 2, if you are going to get somebody who you could potentially throw in there, I think it should be a guy who has that experience, who can help, guide them on their quest to win a title, and also somebody who is a straight up 3-and-D guy, not one of these, create for himself. Because I don't think you need any more creators. As much as the bench is, not great shooting wise, you're never going to need the bench to create for themselves. And if you do, you have Peyton Pritchard.
You literally have 4 or 5 creators in the starting lineup that you can stagger.
So I would rather the defensive versatility of Covington and the 3-point shooting of his, even though he's not what he used to be, he's still serviceable on that end. And the same goes for Danny Green, who is far from what he once was, but he brings that experience. So I think those are the two most intriguing guys to me. I think Batum is even more intriguing than either of them, but I would be shocked if he got waived because he seems like a pretty good fit in Philly.
Good behind Tobias Harris, nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. I think so. Rank them. The guys potentially.
Sixers guys. Okay.
Do you want to include Kenyon Martin as a potential Celtics target, or do we think they're just going to keep him?
I think they're going to keep him. I saw people saying that's the best thing they got back.
Okay, so I'm going to go.
Intriguing.
In terms of guys, I would like the Celtics to go after should they get released or traded or moved or become available.
Sure.
Covington, number 1. Danny Green, number 2. Well, Batum is the number one, but I don't think he's going to be available. So
Okay.
Batum, Robert Covington, Danny Green, Marcus Morris. I don't think Kenyon Martin.
it?
He'd be higher up. I think that's probably it. I think that's my 4 guys. I didn't include Kenyon Martin just because there's no way, right? Like he's not getting released.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll go Covington first too. You sold me on that, but I'll still go Marcus Morris second. I think they need the size a little bit. I mean, Marcus Morris is not what he was when he was with the Celtics. Defensively, he's just not. Otherwise, Philly would be keeping him. If they're not going to keep him, then that's a red flag. And Danny Green is just, to me, washed.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Morris yet to appear in a game this season, by the way. So
yeah, they knew he was traded, so they wanted to keep him fresh.
Sure.
Pretty sure he was causing problems in LA, to be honest with you.
There is a weird dynamic there. It was odd.
But,
anyways,
always respect for Mook.
Yeah, he was cool when he was here, regardless of his
3-0 to Embiid. Never forget.
Love to see it. Anyways, let us know what you guys think of the potential guys Celtics could bring. Let us know what you think it means. Last thing, the Cork was the funniest subplot of it all. You can bet on where he ends up now. There's like odds.
What's the best odds is wherever he's from.
Let me see. No, it's Cork.
He just goes home.
I just saw a bunch of quote tweets saying like, if you're betting on this, call the helpline. Call the
that is true.
The Bulls are plus 125, Pacers plus 245, Heat, Knicks, Magic, Trailblazers are the next available ones.
This Korkmaz thing has been going on for a while.
Yeah, it was especially awkward because the report came out that said Korkmaz asked to be included in the Clippers trade. The Sixers and Clippers both said no. So the Sixers saying no means like, do they want to play him? Like it's either they want to play him or it's just like a spite move at that point, right? Because like why else would the Sixers say no to it?
I've lost all faith in the Sixers having any kind of backbone for spite because they just gave Harden what he wanted. So, and they didn't get that great of a return for him.
No, they got more picks than I thought they would. I'll give them that, but
like I didn't even know the Clippers had picks, to be honest with you.
2 firsts, a pick swap, and then 2 seconds. Well, they included the Thunder in to throw in an extra pick, but
Thunder
anyways,
an extra pick.
Yeah, the Clippers sneaky had a decent amount of picks because they're like all you can go out to like 2031 now, so they were like all way out there. But let us know what you think. Do you think this affects Philly's title odds? Like, do you think this makes them more of a competitor, or is it all dependent on whether or not they trade for another guy?
This is a crazy start to the season. They're already going to trade. And people just kind of don't care because they're over Harden. Because I'm kind of unmoved, but like at the same time, it does affect the Celtics. So you don't talk about it.
So you don't think this makes the Sixers better?
It just feels like a lateral move. Like, I don't know.
It's dependent on who they get if they make another.
It's dependent on Maxey and how he's going to thrive. And if you had to bet on that, it would be he's going to step up because he has. Anytime he's had an opportunity.
Oh my God. I didn't realize how good he was playing to start the season. He's averaging 30.3 points, 6.7 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and shooting 50% from the field and 56% from deep. And he's also getting to the line 7.7 times a game and making 7 of them, 91.3%. He's nasty. Tyrese Maxey is special. Yeah. Anyways, let us know what you think of the move.
Special.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I think we got a good amount of it. So,
all right. Let us know what you think of the move. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening and watching today as we talk about the guy that might not be fat anymore. We appreciate it very much. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're putting in the work, giving you your Celtics fix every day. We'll also be live later tonight for the pregame as the Celtics host the Pacers. We'll be here. Jack will be there. And we'll have a pod for you tomorrow. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple, where that pod is going to be available along with the rest of them. And also the game recaps, when they're not included in a pod, will be there. Leave us a nice 5-star review. Say something nice. You can find us on playback.tv, even though we have like a little beef with them right now. We'll be there. You can join the community. It's just the name of the podcast. We're up to 56 people last time I checked, which is pretty good growth. Used to be 4. You can also find us on socials at How About Them C's. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there as well. You can follow Jack on Twitter at Jackson NBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. Also, our little pod descriptions will be on Celtics blog, so leave a comment. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic tac